Hidden in plain sight, perched high above the ancient city of Athens, lies a sight so extraordinary that it challenges everything we know about human history. The Acropolis. To the untrained eye, it's a testament to the ingenuity of ancient Greece, a beacon of democracy, philosophy, and art. But what if that's only the surface of its story? What if it was designed not just to honor the gods, but to communicate with something far beyond our comprehension? Consider this. The Acropolis wasn't built randomly. Its every dimension, every angle, every stone was crafted with mathematical precision so exact, it mirrors the very fabric of the universe. This isn't hyperbole, it's fact. Numbers like the golden ratio, sacred geometry, and celestial alignments are encoded into its design. But why? Why would an ancient civilization, armed with nothing more than primitive tools, obsess over building something so impossibly perfect? And then there's the marble. Not just any marble, Pentelic marble, quarried miles away and transported to the site. It contains quartz, a material known for its ability to store and generate energy. Was this by coincidence? Or could the Acropolis have been more than a temple? Could it have been a machine, a conduit for forces we barely understand? Ask yourself this. How did a culture over 2 millennia ago, without the wheelbarrow, without cranes, without lasers, carve and position stones weighing tons, with a precision that defies explanation? Stones so perfectly fitted that even today, a razor blade cannot slip between them. Could they have been guided by something or someone beyond their time? And why does the Acropolis align so closely with the stars? Some say it mirrors the heavens, a celestial map carved into the earth itself. But for what purpose? Was it meant to worship the gods? Or was it built to call them down? Throughout history, myths have whispered of gods descending from the skies, imparting knowledge to humanity before disappearing again. The Greeks called them gods, but in the 20th century, a new term emerged: ancient astronauts. Could Athena herself, the goddess to whom the Parthenon is dedicated, have been one of these visitors? Could her wisdom, her gifts to humanity, have been knowledge from the stars? This isn't just speculation. Legends, architecture, and artifacts from around the world point to a disturbing pattern. A past far more advanced than we've been led to believe. A past that may hold the key to understanding our origins. And if the Acropolis holds the truth, why has its deeper purpose been ignored, dismissed, or even suppressed? The Acropolis, crowned by the majestic Parthenon, is said to honor Athena, goddess of wisdom and war. But does it truly? Or is this story a veil, hiding something far more profound? Legends tell us that Athena emerged fully grown, descending from the heavens to gift humanity the wisdom to build civilization. But who or what was Athena? Was she merely a myth, or could she have been a being from beyond the stars? Look closely at the Parthenon, the crown jewel of the Acropolis. Its design is far from simple. It's filled with anomalies that shouldn't exist. For example, did you know that no two columns in the Parthenon are identical? To the naked eye, they appear perfect, symmetrical, yet each was deliberately crafted with minute differences. Why? The official explanation is optical illusion. The Greeks wanted to correct the way the human eye perceives straight lines. But consider the lengths they went to, the obsessive precision, the millimeter adjustments. Why would a civilization with basic tools obsess over such perfection unless it served a deeper purpose? And then there's its alignment. The Parthenon, like many ancient monuments, isn't randomly placed. It's oriented to align with key celestial phenomena. At specific times of the year, the sun and stars interact with the structure in ways that seem intentional, almost ritualistic. Some theorists believe it was built as a terrestrial reflection of the heavens, mirroring constellations like Orion, constellations associated with myths of creation and divine beings. Could the Acropolis have been a gateway, a kind of astronomical tool designed to connect humanity with the cosmos? This idea isn't as far-fetched as it seems. Around the world, we find ancient sites tied to the stars: Stonehenge, the pyramids of Giza, the temples of Teotihuacan. Each aligns with celestial patterns, as if they were part of a grand interconnected design. Why would cultures separated by oceans and centuries share this obsession? Were they all independently inspired, or were they following a blueprint passed down from an advanced intelligence? Some believed the Greeks achieved this level of architectural and astronomical mastery on their own. But what if they didn't? What if they were guided? The very precision of the Acropolis suggests knowledge that transcends the time and tools available. Could this knowledge have been gifted by beings the Greeks called gods and we might call extraterrestrials? It's worth noting that the myths surrounding the Acropolis don't merely describe gods. They describe gods interacting with humanity, teaching, building, shaping. Athena wasn't just a passive figure in these stories. She was an active participant, offering wisdom that transformed human understanding. What if these myths weren't just allegory? What if they were fragments of memory, echoes of a forgotten age when humanity received help from above? The Acropolis is more than a marvel of architecture. It is a riddle, one written in the universal language of mathematics and geometry. Its towering columns and intricate carvings speak not just to the artistry of ancient Greece, but to an intelligence that seems to defy the limits of its time. What were the builders trying to say? And who exactly was the intended recipient of these messages carved into stone? Let's start with the numbers. The Parthenon, the centerpiece of the Acropolis, is infused with mathematical precision. Its dimensions incorporate the golden ratio, a constant revered in mathematics for its presence in nature's most perfect forms, the spirals of galaxies, the petals of flowers, the proportions of the human body. This ratio, 1.618, appears in the Parthenon's design over and over again, from the height and width of its facade to the spacing of its columns. To the Greeks, this wasn't just aesthetic, it was divine. But why? Was this an act of reverence for the natural order, or was it an attempt to tap into something greater? Something universal? And it doesn't stop there. The Parthenon's layout also follows the 4:9 ratio, another mathematical relationship with deep implications. This proportion mirrors patterns found in sound waves, light, and even the orbit of celestial bodies. Why would an ancient civilization, supposedly limited by rudimentary tools, go to such painstaking lengths to embed these ratios into their architecture? Some say it was merely to achieve beauty, but what if it was more than that? What if these numbers weren't just decoration, but instructions, codes meant to preserve knowledge for a future generation capable of unlocking their meaning? The geometric mysteries don't end with proportions. Hidden within the Parthenon are patterns of sacred geometry, pentagrams, hexagrams, and other intricate shapes that are far too deliberate to be accidental. These shapes, found in ancient structures around the world, are said to represent the building blocks of the universe itself. To the Greeks, geometry wasn't just a mathematical discipline, it was a spiritual practice, a way to connect with the divine. But could their reverence for these forms have been something more? What if geometry wasn't just symbolic but functional, designed to harness or direct energy? Consider this. The Acropolis wasn't built in isolation. Its geometry connects it to other sacred sites across the globe. When plotted on a map, locations like the Acropolis, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and Stonehenge form patterns that suggest a global network, a kind of ancient energy grid. Some researchers propose that these sites were strategically placed along ley lines, invisible pathways that channel the Earth's energy. Could the Acropolis have been part of this network, designed not only to honor the gods but to access the planet's hidden forces? And then there's the material itself. The Acropolis was constructed using pentelic marble, a stone rich in quartz, a material capable of generating piezoelectric energy when subjected to pressure. Was this choice of material coincidental, or was it deliberate? Could the builders have known about the energetic properties of quartz and incorporated it into the Acropolis's design for a specific purpose? If so, what was that purpose? To amplify energy? To communicate with the divine? Or perhaps even to connect with something far beyond our understanding? The deeper you look, the more deliberate it all becomes. Every angle, every measurement, every piece of stone seems to have been chosen with intent. But intent for what? Was the Acropolis built as a monument to the gods as we've been taught? Or was it something far more functional, perhaps even technological? A machine encoded with knowledge from a time when humanity was more advanced than we dare to imagine? What's most tantalizing is the possibility that these messages weren't meant for the Greeks alone. Could the Acropolis have been designed to endure the ages, waiting for a future civilization, our civilization, to unlock its secrets? If so, what are we missing? What haven't we yet seen? For centuries, the Acropolis has been revered as a symbol of human ingenuity, but what if its origins stretch beyond Earth? What if the gods of ancient Greece weren't gods at all, but visitors, beings from the stars whose knowledge and technology shaped the course of human history? This idea, once dismissed as mere fantasy, now demands our attention when we examine the Acropolis through the lens of ancient astronaut theory. Let's begin with the myths. The Parthenon, the crown jewel of the Acropolis, is dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. But Athena didn't merely symbolize knowledge. She was said to have descended from the heavens, fully formed, bringing tools and wisdom to humanity. Could this dramatic origin story be a distorted memory of an extraterrestrial encounter? To ancient Greeks, these beings from above were deities. To us, they might be something else entirely. And if these gods were indeed visitors, could the Acropolis itself be evidence of their influence? The precision of its construction is staggering, even by today's standards. Each massive stone, weighing several tons, was carved, transported, and positioned with such accuracy that modern engineers still marvel at the accomplishment. How was this achieved? The official story attributes it to slave labor and ingenuity, but this explanation leaves us with more questions than answers. Why are there no records detailing the tools or methods used? Why do so many ancient structures around the world exhibit this same inexplicable mastery? Could it be that these techniques weren't human in origin? The alignment of the Acropolis with celestial bodies further deepens the mystery. The Parthenon and other structures are positioned with such precision that they track the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. This is not a quirk of ancient superstition, but a recurring feature of monuments across the globe, from the pyramids of Giza to Machu Picchu. Why were ancient civilizations so obsessed with the heavens? Were they worshipping the stars or signaling them? Consider the possibility that the Acropolis was built not just to honor the gods, but to communicate with them. The Greeks believed the gods lived among the stars, and their temples were often designed to mirror the heavens. Some theorists suggest that these structures served as transmitters, using geometry and materials like quartz-rich pentelic marble to send signals to, or receive messages from, beings beyond Earth. This idea gains even more traction when we examine myths of fiery chariots and luminous beings descending from the sky, descriptions that sound eerily like spacecraft. Such accounts aren't limited to Greece. In nearly every ancient culture, from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica, we find stories of celestial beings gifting humanity with knowledge, tools, and even civilization itself. Could these myths be fragmented memories of actual events? If so, the Acropolis may hold the clearest evidence yet of this extraterrestrial connection. Its design, its materials, its celestial alignments, all point to a level of knowledge that seems out of place for its time. And if these beings did assist in its creation, one question looms large. Why? Was the Acropolis a beacon, a meeting point, or a monument to their influence? Or was it left behind as a message, a clue to a larger truth we've yet to uncover? And what of Athena herself? Was she a metaphor for wisdom, or was she a being of incredible power and knowledge, misunderstood and mythologized by the people of her time? If the Parthenon is her temple, could it contain clues, hidden symbols, encoded messages that point to her true origins? The Acropolis is often described as a sanctuary, a sacred space dedicated to the gods. But what if it was something far more extraordinary? What if its purpose wasn't spiritual but technological? Recent theories suggest that the Acropolis may have been designed not as a simple temple complex, but as a machine, an ancient power plant capable of harnessing Earth's natural energies. To understand this, we must start with the material itself. The Acropolis was constructed from pentelic marble, a stone rich in quartz and other minerals with unique energetic properties. Quartz is piezoelectric, meaning it can generate an electrical charge under mechanical pressure. This isn't speculation, it's science. Quartz is used today in everything from radios to watches because of its ability to store and transmit energy. Why would the ancient Greeks go to such lengths to quarry this specific marble, hauling it from miles away, if it wasn't important? Could they have known something we've forgotten? Then there's the location of the Acropolis. Perched high on a rocky outcrop, it dominates the landscape of Athens. But this wasn't just a matter of visibility, it was a deliberate choice. Many ancient sites, including the Acropolis, are built on what researchers call ley lines, invisible energy pathways crisscrossing the Earth. These lines are believed to channel electromagnetic energy, connecting sacred sites like the Acropolis, Stonehenge, and the Great Pyramid of Giza in a global grid. Why would ancient civilizations, separated by thousands of miles, all build their most significant monuments along these lines? Were they tapping into a natural energy source, or following instructions from a higher intelligence? The design of the Acropolis itself adds to the mystery. The precise geometry, the alignment with celestial bodies, and the incorporation of sacred proportions all suggest that it was built with more than aesthetics in mind. Some researchers propose that its layout was intended to amplify and direct energy, creating a kind of resonance that could be used for unknown purposes. The quartz in the marble, combined with the geometric design, could act as a conductor, channeling energy from the earth and perhaps even transmitting it outward. And there's one more tantalizing clue. The ancient Greeks believed that their temples were places of divine connection, points where the mortal world intersected with the realm of the gods. Could this belief have been rooted in something real? Could the Acropolis have been designed to bridge two worlds, not through prayer and ritual, but through energy? This theory might sound far-fetched, but it aligns with other ancient sites around the world. At Puma Punku in Bolivia, stones cut with laser-like precision suggest advanced technology. At the Great Pyramid of Giza, evidence points to its use as an energy generator rather than a tomb. Could the Acropolis belong to the same network, a system of ancient power plants left behind by a civilization that understood Earth's energies far better than we do today? If this is true, we're left with a haunting question: why? Why would an ancient civilization build such a system? Was it meant to sustain their society, connect them to the cosmos, or serve as a gift, or warning, from beings beyond our world? And more importantly, does this system still hold power, waiting to be rediscovered? When you stand atop the Acropolis, feeling the weight of history beneath your feet, it's hard to ignore the strange energy of the place. Maybe it's the echo of the past, or maybe it's something more, something still alive, humming just beneath the surface, waiting for us to uncover its secrets. The Acropolis is shrouded in an aura of reverence, a place where the mortal and divine were said to converge. But beneath its well-documented history lies a layer of secrecy, rituals, symbols, and knowledge accessible only to a chosen few. What if the Acropolis wasn't merely a site of worship, but a gateway to higher consciousness, a repository of hidden wisdom encoded for those deemed worthy to receive it? To uncover these secrets, we must journey back to the Eleusinian mysteries, enigmatic rituals practiced in the nearby town of Eleusis, just a short distance from the Acropolis. These rites were dedicated to Demeter and Persephone, goddesses of life, death, and rebirth. Participants, who included some of the greatest minds of antiquity like Socrates and Plato, swore oaths of absolute secrecy about what they experienced. Accounts of these ceremonies are scarce, but the whispers that have survived hint at something extraordinary: visions of otherworldly realms, encounters with divine beings, and revelations that fundamentally changed how participants saw themselves and the universe. Now consider this: the Acropolis, rising above the heart of Athens, was not just a religious center, it was also deeply connected to these secretive rites. Was it merely a backdrop for these rituals, or was it an active participant? Could the very structure of the Parthenon have been designed to induce altered states of consciousness, to bring initiates closer to divine knowledge? The carvings and decorations of the Parthenon may hold clues to these mysteries. On its friezes and pediments, the gods are depicted not as distant abstract figures, but as active players in human affairs. Some researchers suggest these carvings were more than art. They were a form of encoded wisdom, a visual language meant to convey truths about the universe and humanity's place within it. But who was this knowledge for? Was it intended for all, or only for those with the ability to decipher its hidden meanings? And then there's the question of the Acropolis's very purpose. Was it merely a collection of temples and monuments, or was it something more? Some theorists proposed that it was a kind of initiation chamber, designed to guide individuals through a transformative experience. Its alignment with celestial bodies, its sacred geometry, and its use of materials like quartz-rich marble all suggest it was built with energy and intent. Could the Acropolis have been designed to amplify the effects of the Eleusinian mysteries, serving as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds? There are even whispers that the Acropolis may hold hidden chambers, rooms buried beneath its surface, where ancient priests conducted rituals or guarded forbidden knowledge. While no definitive evidence has been found, the idea is far from implausible. Around the world, sacred sites have been discovered to contain hidden rooms, often aligned with celestial or geological phenomena. Could the Acropolis hold similar secrets waiting to be unearthed? The connection to lost civilizations cannot be ignored. Some theorists suggest that the rituals conducted at the Acropolis and Eleusis may have originated with a civilization far older than the Greeks, perhaps even survivors of Atlantis. Plato, the philosopher who first recorded the legend of Atlantis, was himself an initiate of the mysteries. Could the rituals he participated in have preserved fragments of knowledge from a forgotten world? And if so, why was this knowledge hidden? Was it considered too dangerous for the uninitiated, or was it protected to ensure its survival through the ages? The Eleusinian mysteries eventually faded, suppressed by the rise of Christianity, but their legacy endures, encoded in the stones of the Acropolis and the myths that surround it. The Acropolis's secrets remain tantalizingly out of reach, guarded by time and tradition. But one thing is certain: this ancient site was more than a symbol of power or faith. It was a place where the limits of human understanding were pushed, where initiates sought to glimpse the divine and uncover truths that might have been too profound or too dangerous for the rest of humanity to comprehend. The Acropolis stands as a testament to the genius of ancient Greece, but could it also be a relic of something far older? What if the knowledge that created this masterpiece wasn't born in Athens but inherited from a forgotten civilization, a civilization that may have vanished in a cataclysm so profound it erased almost all traces of its existence? Plato, the father of Western philosophy, wrote about Atlantis, a highly advanced civilization that was said to have been destroyed in a single night of fire and floods. Scholars have debated whether this story was allegory or history, but consider this: much of what we know about ancient Greece, their myths, their architecture, even their mathematics, seems to spring up suddenly, with no clear evolutionary path. Could this be because the Greeks were not inventing these ideas but rediscovering them, inheriting the knowledge of a culture that existed long before recorded history? The precision and complexity of the Acropolis hint at this possibility. Even today, modern engineers are baffled by the techniques used to construct it. Massive blocks of marble, weighing several tons, were quarried, transported, and positioned with laser-like accuracy. No mortar was used, yet the stones fit so perfectly that they have endured thousands of years of weather, war, and earthquakes. If the Greeks accomplished this on their own, why do we see no evidence of trial and error? Why do we not find earlier structures showing the gradual development of these techniques? And this mystery isn't limited to Greece. Around the world, we find ancient monuments that defy explanation, structures like Puma Punku in Bolivia, where stones were cut with such precision they seem machined, or the Great Pyramid of Giza, whose construction methods remain hotly debated. These sites share striking similarities in design and astronomical alignment, as if they were all following the same blueprint. Could these scattered remnants be the fingerprints of a global civilization that predated the Greeks, the Egyptians and the Sumerians? Geological evidence suggests that such a civilization might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Around 10,000 BCE, Earth experienced a series of cataclysmic events: the melting of the last ice age, massive floods, and volcanic eruptions. Some researchers point to this period as a Great Reset, a time when advanced societies could have been wiped out, leaving only scattered survivors to rebuild. Plato's Atlantis, with its advanced technology and sudden destruction, fits neatly into this timeline. The Acropolis itself may carry evidence of this connection. Scholars have noted similarities between its architecture and myths and those of other ancient cultures. For instance, its geometric precision and astronomical alignments echo those found at megalithic sites around the globe. Could the Greeks have inherited these techniques from an earlier civilization? And if so, where did this lost culture acquire its knowledge? One theory is particularly provocative: that this ancient civilization didn't originate on Earth at all. If humanity's earliest myths and monuments point to visitors from the stars, could this lost civilization have been a hybrid, part human, part extraterrestrial? Did they possess knowledge far beyond their time, only to lose it in a global catastrophe? Even the myths surrounding Athena, the goddess of wisdom, hint at something extraordinary. She was said to have emerged fully formed, bringing tools, technology, and civilization to humanity. Was this a poetic metaphor, or could it be a memory of a real event, an intervention by beings far more advanced than we can imagine? As we piece together the fragments of history, one thing becomes clear: the Acropolis is far more than a symbol of ancient Greece. It may be a relic of a forgotten chapter in human history, a chapter that saw the rise and fall of a civilization far more advanced than we're willing to admit. If this is true, then the Acropolis isn't just a monument to the past, it's a clue, a key, waiting to unlock the story of humanity's true origins. And if the Acropolis is one piece of this puzzle, what else is waiting to be discovered? Are there other relics buried beneath the sands of time that could finally confirm the existence of a lost civilization? Or will the evidence remain hidden, tantalizingly close yet forever out of reach? Of course, not everyone believes the Acropolis is anything more than what it seems, a remarkable feat of human ingenuity. Mainstream historians, archaeologists, and engineers argue that the accomplishments of ancient Greece, while extraordinary, were entirely within the capabilities of human effort and innovation. According to them, there's no need for theories of lost civilizations or extraterrestrial influences when logic and evidence can explain everything. But can they? Skeptics point to the documented tools and techniques of the time, insisting that the Greeks achieved their mastery through simple but effective methods: wooden cranes, levers, and an incredible amount of manpower. They argue that the alignment of the Acropolis with celestial phenomena is coincidental or the result of trial and error over centuries of observation. To them, the mathematical precision and sacred geometry found in the Acropolis are nothing more than testaments to the Greeks' artistic and intellectual brilliance. Yet, there are glaring gaps in these explanations. For one, no detailed records exist to explain how the Parthenon was actually built. If the ancient Greeks achieved such remarkable feats with their tools, why do we not find more evidence of these methods in other structures? Why does the Acropolis seem to stand alone in its level of precision and complexity, unmatched even by other Greek temples? And then there's the question of lost knowledge. Skeptics often dismiss the idea that advanced techniques or understanding were forgotten, claiming that human progress is a steady, linear march forward. But history tells a different story. The fall of Rome plunged Europe into the Dark Ages, erasing centuries of engineering and scientific advancements. Could the same have happened on a far grander scale, wiping out even greater knowledge from a more ancient civilization? Mainstream explanations also falter when addressing the broader context of ancient mysteries. How do skeptics account for the striking similarities between the Acropolis and sites like the pyramids of Giza, Machu Picchu, and Göbekli Tepe? These sites share not just architectural brilliance, but a deep connection to celestial phenomena, as if their builders were all working from the same playbook. Were these achievements truly independent, Or do they hint at a shared source of knowledge that skeptics refuse to acknowledge? And what of the materials? Critics dismiss the significance of the quartz-rich marble used in the Acropolis, saying it was simply the best available stone. But why were ancient builders across the globe, from Egypt to South America, so selective about the materials they used? Why do we find similar choices of high-energy, piezoelectric materials in monuments separated by continents and millennia? Is this really a coincidence, or does it point to a forgotten understanding of how these materials could be used to harness and manipulate energy? Skeptics also struggle to explain the enduring power of mythology. Why do so many cultures tell similar stories of gods descending from the skies, imparting knowledge, and then vanishing? Why do these myths consistently align with the placement and purpose of ancient monuments? To dismiss them all as allegory or imagination seems short-sighted, especially when they align so closely with physical evidence. The skeptics' arguments are grounded in reason and science, but they often demand an extraordinary leap of faith. Faith that ancient peoples achieved their monumental feats without leaving behind a single detailed record of their methods. Faith that the advanced knowledge encoded in sites like the Acropolis was purely coincidental, and faith that myths of gods, celestial alignments, and encoded geometry are simply the products of primitive minds rather than evidence of something far greater. Skepticism is healthy. It keeps us grounded and forces us to question extraordinary claims. But history is filled with examples of mainstream thought resisting ideas that later proved to be true. Plate tectonics, the heliocentric model of the solar system, even the existence of Troy, all were dismissed by experts of their time. Could we be repeating that mistake with the Acropolis? Ultimately, the skeptics raise important questions, but their answers often leave us with more mysteries. If the Acropolis is merely a product of human ingenuity, why does it seem to fit so neatly into a global pattern of advanced ancient knowledge? Why do its mysteries persist, resisting the explanations of even the most rigorous science? Perhaps the skeptics are right, or perhaps they are simply unwilling to consider the possibility that history, as we know it, is incomplete. The Acropolis, after millennia of standing watch over the city of Athens, remains more than a relic of the past. It is a symbol of humanity's quest for knowledge, beauty, and connection to forces greater than ourselves. But what if its true significance lies not in its history, but in its future? Could the Acropolis be more than a testament to what was? Could it be a key to what is yet to come? Even today, the Acropolis exerts a magnetic pull on those who visit it. People speak of feeling an almost indescribable energy as they walk its grounds, as if the site itself is alive, humming with a power just beyond human perception. Is this the weight of history? Or could it be something more? Could the Acropolis still serve its ancient purpose, acting as a bridge between worlds, a focal point for energies we are only beginning to understand? Consider what we know, or think we know, about its design. The Acropolis's alignment with celestial bodies suggests that it was built to interact with the cosmos. Its geometry and proportions encode principles of harmony and balance that resonate across cultures and eras. And its use of quartz-rich marble, capable of generating energy, hints at a deeper purpose that science has yet to fully uncover. If the Acropolis was indeed part of a global network of sacred sites, as some theorists propose, then perhaps its function hasn't been entirely lost. Perhaps it is waiting for the right moment, or the right understanding, to be activated. And what of the mysteries encoded in its stones? If the Acropolis was designed to preserve knowledge for future generations, what might we still uncover? Could its geometry hold answers to questions about the nature of reality, the origins of humanity, or the forces that govern the universe? Could its secrets guide us toward new technologies, new ways of understanding energy and matter, or even new forms of consciousness? We are living in a time when ancient mysteries are being revisited with fresh eyes. Technologies like ground-penetrating radar have revealed hidden chambers in monuments like the Great Pyramid of Giza, sparking speculation about what might lie beneath other ancient sites. Could the Acropolis hold similar surprises? Are there hidden rooms, artifacts, or inscriptions buried beneath its surface, waiting to rewrite our understanding of the past, and perhaps our vision for the future. And then there are the myths. The stories of gods descending from the skies, of Athena bringing wisdom and tools to humanity, of celestial alignments and divine connections. These myths are more than relics of a bygone era. They may hold clues to a deeper truth, one that we are only now beginning to rediscover. If the Acropolis was built with the guidance of beings beyond our understanding, what might they have left behind for us? What might they have intended for us to find, centuries or millennia after their departure? As we continue to explore and question, the Acropolis invites us to think not just about where we've been, but about where we're going. Its enduring presence reminds us of humanity's capacity for greatness, for connection, and for seeking answers to the deepest questions of existence. But it also challenges us. What have we missed? What are we failing to see? Perhaps the Acropolis is not just a relic of the past, but a portal to the future, a future where its secrets are finally unlocked, where its purpose is finally understood, and where humanity takes the next step in its journey to uncover the truth about its origins, its potential, and its place in the cosmos. The Acropolis stands as a beacon, an invitation to look beyond the known and to embrace the mysteries that still await us. The question is, will we answer the call?